Okay, so in the last lesson we looked at how to build our clap/snare build up. So we've got that in this section here. What we're going to do now is build the main and drum beat for our composition. What I'm going to do, just to give us a bit more room, is just click these little arrows on this top side of each, left side of each track, and just give us some more room to work with down here. Underneath our clap track, I'm going to insert a new audio track. And I'm going to set this audio track to be quarter notes in length, so crotchets. And I'm going to find a kick drum sound that I'm going to use for our main beat. So if I go to bass drums, punchy. Now, you might not have a lot of these samples in your Ableton Live at your school, but what I'll do is I'll create a sample pack with everything you need that you can download from the website, and you can use those. All right, so I've just dragged and dropped a kick drum sound onto the track. All right, and what I'm going to do is we want our kick drums to be on every quarter beat. So there's 4 slots in each bar, and we want our kick drum to be on all of those. So we're just going to press Control C or right click and copy up the top if we need to do it that way, and press Control V or right click and paste. So it lines up with each quarter note or each space within the grid in the background. Instead of going through and putting them all through, right-clicking paste or Control-V, we can Control-C or copy a whole bunch and Control-V and put them all through this section. So we want these to be pretty consistent within our drop. So let's bring those through. All right, so if we play it, we've just got a constant kick drum on each beat. Okay, so the first half, I'm just going to leave it like that. I might rename this track Kick, just so we can know what we're working with a bit more clearly. All right, so Kick for that. Now, the next track, we're going to create a new audio track. And I'm going to name it just Snare. And I'm going to find a snare that I can use for this track. I'm going to come down to snares. I'm going to pick snare 10. It's a decent one there. And for the snares, if I zoom in a little bit, they need to go on every second and fourth beat. So if we look at the grid at the top, we've got bar 25, and then 25 second beat, third beat, fourth beat. So make sure it goes on the second and fourth beat on every bar. Okay, so Control click and drag, or Control C, Control V, however you copy and paste your notes or audio clips. And I'm going to copy that and then start pasting. So make sure you grab the whole start to finish of the bar and then paste it, and it will keep it on the second and fourth beat for you. And now we have snares on every second and fourth beat with a kick playing on every beat. Like so. The last thing, or the second to last thing for our main beat, we need a hi-hat pattern. So what we're going to do is just create a new audio track, and I'm just going to rename this HH for hi-hat. Okay, and I'm going to set the grid to 1/8 notes. Okay, so as you'll see, the grid, instead of being one whole quarter, we've got 1/8 slots we can use in each bar. So I'm going to come down and find a open hi-hat sound, and that first one works fine for me. And I'm going to put them on every off beat. So you can see that this is the start of the bar, and then there's an off beat, like the and beat, they kind of call it in drumming. And then this is beat 2, 2 and 3, 3 and 4. So we want our hi-hats to be on every and beat. Okay, so off where the kicks and the snares are, the line in the middle. Okay, so we can do the same thing. We can copy and paste that whole bar, go around it. Sorry about that. And keep pasting it all the way through. And what I'm going to do is copy and paste this 4-bar loop and paste it again so it goes right to the end. And then we have our beat that sounds like this. Sometimes known as the Boots and Cats drum beat. Okay, for the last part, all we need to do is add a crash cymbal. So I'm just going to find a crash that I like, and I reckon that's a pretty good one. So at the start of our new section where the beat comes in, we want to add our crash. Now just know, I dragged the crash into a blank spot. I'll do that again just to demonstrate. This is where it says drop files and devices here. I can just drag and drop a crash there, and it will automatically create a new track for me in that track, as you can see here. So that's a pretty handy tip. I'm just going to rename that crash. All right, and I'm going to have a crash just at the very start of that section and then halfway through when it changes. So now let's listen to our drop and the crash building in. So the crash just accents that first beat, and it kind of just makes it known that there is a change in the section too. Likewise here, you'll notice that the crash comes in when the hi-hat pattern starts to play, so just have a listen building up to that section. Okay, so our build-up now has a snare drum pattern that builds up into the drop, and now the drop has its own drum beat that's in 2 parts. Now we're going to make the sound bigger eventually through the use of different effects and processors, but for now we just want to get the bare bones, the basic structure of our build-up and our drop. So there you have it. You'll have the snare build-up and the drop drum beat down here, and that's it for this section. In the next video, we'll look at just creating a few different fills to lead into different sections.